What is up, good people? Jungle Link here. Hope you're doing good. Bitcoin right now sitting at 33,800, Ethereum 1784, XRP 55 cents, pushing 56. Crypto market looks pretty strong, and it seems like a lot of this upwards momentum circles around the speculation that we're going to get a Bitcoin ETF. Now, make no mistake, we're going to get one. The question is it go time right now? And I think what made people think now is the time is BlackRock's ticker for their Bitcoin ETF was listed, I believe it was on NASDAQ. Well, today it was removed. So can we read a lot into that? Are they getting ready? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But I would be very surprised if it doesn't happen before the deadline, which I think they can take all the way till January or February of next year. Might it come sooner? Well, we're dealing with some heavy hitters, BlackRock, Fidelity. This is a different class here than the ETFs we saw in the past, so it very well may happen at any moment. Also, wouldn't be surprised if they took every single moment of time they have. And there's always the possibility they kick the can down the road and deny these requests, even though I put a really small probability at that. You have that big loss in court to Grayscale. You have some, powerhouses behind this Bitcoin ETF. And further, I think the SEC needs to make some positive progress within crypto, and I think this is a great opportunity. Gary Gensler can finally get a win here instead of just getting smacked all over the place and be the commissioner that ushered in, crypto ETFs. I think it'd be a big deal. Speaking of Grayscale, Cathie Wood today cashed in her Bitcoin GBTC. I think she's just taking profits, probably up pretty big on that position. I wouldn't read a whole lot into that. Today there was a big announcement, Ripple partnering with Uphold. Now, I gotta be clear here, Uphold isn't my favorite exchange, and that irritates a lot of people out there. That's okay if it's yours, if you really like it. I don't like Uphold, but I like seeing Ripple make these types of partnerships. I think it could be very helpful in the future if we introduce a stable coin, trying to get liquidity, on exchanges. That's what's really powerful. Can you send a USDC, a Tether, or whatever the stable coin is to an exchange and actually, cash out to an off-ramp? Further, Ripple can source that liquidity for a lot of the things they're doing. So I think this could be a fruitful partnership. And further, I hope they expand this and do more deals with more exchanges. Now, I thought this was really interesting. Today on Twitter, OnLedger announced that he switched out 3 validators from the DUNL. So Ripple and the foundation, they put out their list of suggested trusted validators. And OnLedger, well, he's switching out 3 of them. Now, why do I find this interesting? First of all, I don't think people should just take the foundation's list or Ripple's list and run with it. Like, that's part of running a validator. You got to think about who you're trusting and add them to your list. But number 2, I want to see if he can actually continue to operate without forking into oblivion. Because it's my understanding even 1 or 2 can cause you problems. Now, I know Nick Bougalis claims he switched out 11 and had no problem. Fine. The guy is, outside of David, probably the most knowledgeable guy within XRP or the XRP ledger. That doesn't mean that mere mortals can do this. Again, most people run the DONL. It's, easy. It's the most stable. And I want to see here, can you switch out even 3 without causing issues? And of course, OnLedger, he'll report back to us. So he says he can. He's went ahead and made the switch for good reasons. These are validators he thinks are more trustworthy and higher performing. And so I want to see if it's even possible or if he's going to run into issues. It's my prediction that we see OnLedger start forking around at some point in time. We'll find out as we go forward. I think it's interesting, the lack of commentary on this issue with Lightning. Because, we're hearing it's pretty bad. And this could threaten the Lightning Network. And maybe you have to go to Bitcoin Core to fix it. And I'm a little disappointed that a lot of the Bitcoin experts aren't addressing this. Now, I think actually it's not a big deal, but I'm not knowledgeable enough. I don't know enough about Lightning. And so I'm waiting to hear, from someone that lives and breathes Lightning, how they're going to deal with this issue. If you haven't heard, supposedly there's some really exotic attack. No one's pulled off in the wild, but it's theoretical and possible. And that's dangerous. If it's possible, people are going to exploit it eventually. And the person that found it said the only way to fix it is to mess around with actually Bitcoin Core, which in my mind is a no-go. So you'd almost have to kill off Lightning. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but I want to hear someone that knows what they're talking about. If you know of any, good videos on the subject, please, post them below or hit me up on Twitter because I want to hear some good discussions. But I notice a lot of the Lightning Bulls, they're just ignoring this situation, which I think is wrong. If it's not a big deal, come out and say so. If it's a catastrophic disaster, come out and tell us how we're going to fix it. I don't care. Let's just report on it. That's my main issue here. Now, I think we had a big win for all cryptocurrencies. Tom Emmer has been named Speaker of the House. Big crypto bull famously stated XRP is not a security. This is what's going to happen. We're going to see the old ushered out, and people coming up, they're going to have a crypto-friendly outlook. And of course, because the space is growing and there's a lot of money there, a lot of power to be had. It's not just to be nice or because they like crypto. It's all about business, as politics always is. Now that Tom Emmer is ascending up the ranks, I want to see, does he keep his crypto-friendly attitude, or does he do a, NWO double cross on us? We'll have to see how it plays out. We've seen this before. Gary Gensler was the crypto guru that was going to be so great, and we've seen what he's done. So let's see how it plays out, but I have big hopes for Tom Emmer. Maybe he can help bring in some crypto regulations here as we move forward. Let me know what you think down below, and as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.